Hi, and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about horizontal analysis. When we're trying to take a look at a company and its financial performance, one of the things that we might want to do is a horizontal analysis. So I will take you through how to do it, what the calculations involve, and a little bit of what this means. So let's get started. Hi everybody. Today I want to talk over horizontal analysis, what this is, how it's calculated, the things that it can tell you about a company and its financial health. And horizontal analysis is done on any of the financial statements, and you'll see it commonly done on the balance sheet and the income statement. A horizontal analysis is also known as trend analysis. What is our trend over time with certain accounts? For example, if you want to look at cash and how it has increased or decreased over time. For instance, you could compare one quarter to another, or all 4 quarters in a year, or you can compare several different years for a company just to see how that particular account moves around. Hopefully it's got a consistent balance, it's got a growing balance, all that sort of thing. And there's all kinds of stuff that you might be looking for here, but it's really good to understand how to do it and what it can tell you. When you're doing this sort of thing, you got to think about, just as the name says, horizon. It's basically taking a look at cash from this year to the next year to the next year, sort of on that line of being horizontal. When we want to calculate the increase or decrease in percentages, you'll determine a base year. For example, we may want to start with a company at the time this video has been created. For example, a lot of companies are reporting 2014 results, starting to report 2015 results. So the data that we may look at 2013 perhaps as our base year. And so what you want to do, no matter what you're doing, is if I'm comparing this year to that year, which year will be my base year? And you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. Then as you take a look at these percentages over time, you will want to investigate significant changes. Now, everyone's definition of significant can be different. For example, if a creditor might look at something and think that 1% is really significant. An employee of a company may look at something and think 10% is really significant. And you name it, there could be all kinds of reasons for that. So as you get used to doing this and you're analyzing different companies, you'll start to figure out what is significant for you or what is significant for a particular industry. There's lots of things that can impact that. But from the perspective of either being a creditor or an investor or an employee of a company, probably the most important ones, as all of us are employees of a company somewhere, or have been employees of a company somewhere, or we invest in companies. Sometimes we may not invest in them directly, and then of course we might actually invest in them directly. So those are the two perspectives that we're looking at, that we want to make sure that we know how to interpret this stuff. In this example, I'm taking Costco, and I have pulled Costco information off of finance.yahoo.com. And when you go to that website, you can enter in a stock symbol, and in this case for Costco, it's COST. And when you put that in, you can go to their balance sheet, because this is what I'm looking at, is their balance sheet, and actually see all these numbers. So I'm looking at the base year being 2013. And we're looking at the current assets within Costco. And in 2013, they had 4 billion. There's actually 4 billion, because when you look on Yahoo, it will tell you that the numbers are in thousands. So you actually have to add 3 more zeros to them. However, in my example, I'm reporting them exactly as they are showing up on finance.yahoo.com. But just know that that 4,644,000 is actually 4,644,000. But that is my base year for cash. I'm comparing it to 2014. So in 2014, we have 5,738,000, or 5,738,000,000. And the difference between those 2 years is $1,094,000,000. And so we're taking the 2014 number minus the 2013 number. In order to get the percentage, we're taking that difference of 1,094,000,000 and we're dividing that by the base year of 2013. So if you take the 1,094,000 and divide by 4,644,000, you get 23.56%. All the rest of these on each and every line are calculated the exact same way, so that you can see for Costco, for their current assets and their long-term assets, which starts there at property, plant, and equipment, you can see their change from one year to the next. And what's nice about this is that for Costco at least, their cash is what has gone up significantly during that period of time, which that's a good thing. Now let's take a look at their liabilities. Their liabilities, calculated exactly as I demonstrated in the previous slide. And here we want to look for, if anything is significant to us. And what might be significant to me might be the minority interest. Now, although those numbers are significantly lower than the other line items, it has the largest increase. For me, what I would want to do is to then go to the Costco website, their main company website, and I would want to start looking for any of their about me information or company information. And oftentimes what they will do is they will post the filings that they file with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. And you want to look for a 10K to read through it. It's actually not terribly hard to read. And you would want to do a search on minority interest, and you'd probably find out exactly what that is. I have not researched that for this video because I've just calculated these numbers, and I'm kind of going through what I would want to look at. In our stockholder equity, we can calculate the same thing. Our retained earnings is growing nicely, which is wonderful because retained earnings is the amount of net income that's being generated in the business over time, and that's growing at a healthy clip, 18.7%, which is very, very nice. I would also perhaps want to look at what constitutes other stockholder equity by looking in that 10K for Costco and seeing what that may signify, because I don't really know what that is. There are some challenges to a horizontal analysis. When there is no value in the base year or the comparison year, then there's really nothing to compute. Or when a negative amount appears in one of those years, that can throw your numbers off. So just be careful when you're calculating those. In the end, horizontal analysis is a great way for us to start learning about how a company operates, if they're growing their cash in the balance sheet. One thing that we did not do here is take a look at their income statement, and most likely it would look pretty good, but it works exactly the same way. You would calculate them exactly as I've demonstrated in this video. And what's great is that once you start doing it and you have a template that is set up to handle this for a company that you like to follow, then you can do this analysis very quickly. So next we'll be moving on to vertical analysis, and without further ado, we'll go on to that one. Thank you.